Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kitten Stitcher. Today is November 17th and this is video number 110. So this is a channel about cross stitch and cross stitch accumulation and finding the good things and hanging out with friends, going to retreats and living my best stitchy life. So welcome back if you're an existing subscriber, and if you're new to my channel, which every once in a while somebody hops on and says, hey, I've never seen your channel before. I am always happy to have new people swing by. So let's chat. After my last video, I think I told you that I was going on a road trip and I flew into Wisconsin. I flew into Chicago, drove to Wisconsin. So when I flew in, my husband drove me to the airport. It's about an hour and a half. And I was going to be gone for a week, so it paid to have him do that instead of parked my car for that period of time. My husband's all business. So we got up to the departure line. I hopped out, grabbed my bags, grabbed my luggage, gave him a kiss goodbye, went inside the airport, and the airport is under remodel. And it was a mess. I had a text the night before that says, there's going to be a lot of people there. You might want to get there early. So I hopped out, I went inside. I went to print my bag tag, and I left my phone in the car. And I was like, it's 5:30 in the morning and there are people everywhere. It's so crowded. So I'm trying I'm trying to call him, trying to FaceTime call him through Messenger. My mom, my sister, my son, nobody's up because it's 5:30 in the morning. And the longer time goes on, the more farther away he is. So I just knew that I wasn't going to catch him before I had to get to my flight. I went through the assist line. I got my bag tagged and my boarding pass printed because I fly Alaska mostly and they're paperless. So you have to use their app. Now I did have my tablet with me, so I was able to do some communication, but what a mess. I got to Chicago. Shout out to Hertz. They had a rental car that had GPS in it, which the tablet's like this. Fantastic. It's built into the vehicle. No problems getting on the freeway and getting over to Wisconsin. You know, it was funny because I let my husband know what was going on. He's like, you need your phone. He was more concerned that I didn't have my phone than I was, I think, because I was living my best Nancy Drew life at that point. I was figuring out, got to the airport, got my my bag picked up. I went on to Google Maps and did some snapshots of maps in case they didn't have GPS in the rental car, and it was going to be fine. You know, I lived before there was a cell phone. So he overnighted the cell phone to me at when we got to Country Sampler. So I love my husband. He's so sweet. He's like, you need your phone. I'm like, okay, sir. So I got to Country Sampler and met up with my friends Dawna Lightsky, she is it live from the SheShack? Stitching from the SheShack? I'll put it at the bottom here. It's been a bit since she's done a video. And Barb Lost and Floss. Now Barb's hung out with us. Barb, Dawna, and I have been there before with Lori and some other people at different times. And Barb brought Valerie Stitching in the Barn with her. So that group is a hoot. And then Monday night, who else do we have? Oh, Theresa Kogut came too. And we had Theresa. She'd never been there. And then Michelle Rudy came Monday night. So we had just the best time stitching, singing. Barb and Dawna brought all the goods for food. We didn't have to go out to eat one time. It was so much fun. We had a great time. So we stitched and we shopped, and then we brought show and tell up, and then we realized what we didn't buy that somebody else bought. So we went back downstairs and shopped some more. It was fun. Let's see. So I'll show you a few things what I got there. And because this here, holy cow, there's stuff just falling over. I'm going to do it this way so I can get rid of a few things. So right when I came in the door to Country Sampler, I saw this quilt kit, and I had seen, oops, there goes stuff. I had seen this in their newsletter. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to buy this. Look at those colors. Wowza. This has some diamond textile fabrics, which I know Lori Textiles, she really likes those. So, and the way that they're sewn up, and it was pretty dense stitching on top. It sort of had that puckery look. It was so pretty. So I showed this on Instagram, and my friend Lori Wilson from Thread Milk Designs and her friend Sandy, who I met Sandy at Market, they're so lovely. They're like, they loved it so much they bought it too. So It's a bunch of half square triangle. No, fine geese. The whole thing is, but it's gorgeous. Also, so it's still fall there. They've had their open house for Christmas now. Look at this. Maggie Venonomy. Oh, first I bought the pattern because I couldn't find the kit, which was right in front of my face. And then I got the kit. Krista helped me find it, and I love that. So now I've got 6 million wool applique kits that I need to work on. And what else? A few things downstairs in the shop. So I'm just going to be kind of all over in this video. I'm on a break, my lunch break. So this was downstairs in the clearance room. Betsy Chutchin. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Also this one, a Cardiff by the Sea. She's in Washington State. She moved up north. And this would be fantastic. I think I would do red, white, and blue. So that one could make the cut. Look at this one. Artful Offerings. Isn't that sweet? And then I bought the bag, the project roll pattern. I think they had these. I'm not sure who submitted it to them. I'm not sure whose pattern that is. And then this one, I think Barb showed a, did Barb? No, Theresa, I think, put a picture of this on her Flosstube. Theresa Kogut. This was stitched in a completely different colorway. It's gorgeous. So it's a conversion. It's more fall looking. Also, this one has been taunting me every time I go to Country Sampler because they have it on the wall. But I think I'll do a complete conversion, color conversion on this. So pretty. The composition's so beautiful. Mary Argent Sampler. My friend, and so I've got some giveaways that I'll show too. I should say gifts from other people. This is from Valerie Stitching in the Barn. Look at how cute that is. She said, "That's me." And there's Lori on the back. Filled with lavender and a beautiful skein of thread. This is, oh gosh, one of these I think I bought. One of them she gave me. I've got a schoolhouse red and a cranberry. So pretty. And let's see. I was totally in the red mood. Velveteen from Lady Dot Creates. Love that. Also, ooh, I had an idea. This Country Sampler had stitched it and aged it with their aging process. They made it into a big pillow, so I bought some Tim Holtz fabric that I thought would be pretty for the back of that. I picked up a, this is not a charm pack, whatever the size is, the bigger one, of French General, and everybody picked this up and almost bought it, and I finally bought it. And I was dying for this. This is a Stacey Nash. I think this is the last kit in the club, the drum club for her. And they had an extra, so I was able to pick that up. It is so pretty with the wrapped leaves that go around the drum. Gorgeousness. And, oh, okay. They have a lot of Artful Offerings. And this one I've been wanting to. Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And this one's called Patriotic Pinwheel Parade by Artful Offerings. Now, in the basement, guess what this is? Chenille. They had some chenille that was on sale. It's the, I think this is 1/2 inch. And it's a navy color. So Katie from So Tattered influenced me to buy that. Also in the downstairs, they put together remnants, which they're great for just adding to your stash for quilting, but also for smalls. It's fantastic. Now look at this. Is that not gorgeous? They have a kit that uses this, I think, right now. That's a Christmassy looking one. So I picked that up. And I think, was it Barb and I both bought some toweling. This toweling is just, oh, the hand is so lovely. It's very nice toweling. It feels very fine. So I bought a long piece because my intention is to make a table runner that maybe I'll have some wool applique on it, or I can't remember who had the idea of putting just greenery on there. You could put a candle and put it on your table at Christmas. this I kept looking at in the shop. I'd go around the corner and it would poke its eye out at me. I decided I just had to have it because it screams my colors. It's a nice project bag, William Morris design on it. Gorgeous. And then I found this kind of older line of French General. I feel like I'm just petting it like a cat or a dog. I have this in a couple different colorways. I have a mustard color, which I really love. And this is sort of it's a pink without being so pink. It's kind of a blushy pink. I bought the last of the bowl. There's 10 yards on here, and I may make curtains in my craft room. Some sort of a curtain arrangement there. Also decided maybe I would try some of the aging that they do country sampler on some of my pieces, and that's crushed walnut shells with a recipe on how to use it. Some needles, and these are interesting. These are primitive gatherings. These are binding needles, which I did not know you used a different needle for binding. I just use a regular sewing needle. And then last, is this all for Country Sampler? There is October 31st. Now, if you go into Country Sampler, there's a kind of a middle section, and there's a sort of a hutch that opens up, and there are sometimes some wools, some velveteens in there, and they have kits of Blackberry Brenda Gervais, and they'll be tucked in there just like little, I've had these a couple times now, little, like this is a picture of the pattern, but it doesn't have the pattern in it, but it's got the supplies for that. And yes, please, I decided I needed to have that. All right, I'm going to pause here because I'm going to take some stuff off my table so the rest of it doesn't fall. And then I'm going to show you some stuff from Amana, some stuff from Phoenix to the retreat I went to, and my whips, I promise, and the giveaway from last time. So just hold on a minute, I'll be right back. So there, when I was moving stuff around, I found a few other things from Country Sampler. Maggie Bonomi kills me, and the kits are gorgeous. So I didn't have this one. This is, what's it called? Oh, it's part of the Maggie Bonomi Club. It's September 2020. And they have these like in a tub in Country Sampler. And I just find myself like, do I have this kit? Do I have that kit? These aren't going to take that long. I just need to set myself down and start working on them. I think I say that every video. Also, Barb Lost and Floss bought these 2 ribbons. And she has a finish that she's going to do that involves these. And I kept looking at them. She brought them upstairs, and this was a show and tell repurchase. So I was like, oh, I need that. And then I bought these tiny little bells. I bought 3. I think I got them at Country Sampler. I can't 100% remember, though. But I'm sure I'll need those for some project. There was Theresa Kogut shared these. She gave us all a print. And isn't that adorable? So in my, so what does Christmas look like for me? Well, first of all, I want to explain what the shop is, because I've had people ask me, like, they're wondering if it's a cross-stitch shop. No, it is a shop that's a big building. It's a pole barn building style. So it's not 2x4s with walls. It's big poles that my husband, and then he finished it. It looks like a regular building, but it's a pole barn structure. Has 2 big overhead bay doors, and so when we move out of here, my husband can work in the shop. He can fix cars, he can fix dirt bikes, he can work on equipment, he can keep his hunting gear out here. It's going to be his space. And the room that we're in now is a 20 by 14 room that will be where his tools will be, and he'll be his workshop area. So if it's, and we'll probably leave the 2 recliners in here, the TV in here. It'll be his man cave. Anyway, so I don't have, my Christmas stuff is in boxes. It's probably not going to come out this year. I'm probably not going to decorate for Christmas, except for my Theresa Kogut print. And by the way, I went to a wine and painting night with some girlfriends here, like 2 days after I got back from Arizona. And I have what I call garage art. So it's going to be perfect for the shop. I get to store it on the wall. And we painted. She was so fast, I could hardly keep up. And so I couldn't fix anything along the way either, which is fine. Let's see. Now, I'm just going to show you the generosity of the people at stitching organizations, retreats. I'm probably not going to show you all this individually, but all the beautiful things, numerous needle books, scissor keepers, thread keepers, thread beds, all the chocolate's gone, all the candy's gone, mug rugs, just so many goodies. Michelle brought us soap. Gosh, I can't even show this all to you. This is adorable. I have to show you this. This is from Amber Malone. Look at this. Shot up. How cute is that? Little ball pin cushion. So darn cute. Scissors. Gosh. I just feel overwhelmed. Showered with love. Diane gave me this at the attic. All of the scissors, work keepers, HMBFOG. I can't remember her first name. She made this. She gave me a little special gift. And then stitched this. What? And then did a sweet little chintz fabric finish on the back. Thank you. I was like I was so overwhelmed and appreciative and amazed at all the beautiful things that everybody gave me. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all the gifts. Thank you for coming up and talking with me and not being afraid, because I know how it is when you want to talk with someone, you don't know them, but you know them, but they don't know you. So thank you for all of the lovelies that y'all gave me and shared with me. I do want to point this one out. So this is Diane, the woodpecker's daughter, on Instagram. I was at her table at the attic, and I'll get to that in a minute, but she made this. She made project keepers. They are so beautifully made. Her sewing is excellent. Isn't that beautiful blackbird fabric on the inside? Impeccable sewing. Just beautiful, beautiful sewing. The zippers look good. The seams don't go like this. Just beautiful. So a big thank you to everyone for your generosity. All right, so Country Sample, we were there for a few days. It snowed while we were upstairs. That was fun. We ran around and bought things. We laughed. We had a good time. And then on Wednesday, we went down to Amana to the Farmgirl retreat. And the guest there, the guest designer, was Beth Twist. So I will show you Beth's project. It is amazing. I'll also show you a few other things that I bought along the way so I can move more stuff off of my table and bring my whips out at some point. On the way from Amana to, away from Wisconsin to Iowa to Amana, I stopped at a quilt store and I bought this Joyful Gatherings book by Lisa Bonjean at Primitive Gatherings. Michelle Rudy had mentioned she really liked this book, and she is not wrong. This is full of gorgeous projects, worth every penny. I really like her books. I wish she would put a hardcover on them, or maybe even a piece of plastic to protect them a little bit more. Beautiful from Lisa Bonjean. Also, this came in the mail, and I blame this on Emily C. She bought this book. She showed it. She said, I would really love to stitch this. Will somebody chart it? No, I'm not going to chart it. The chart's in there, but it's a handwritten, which is a nightmare. But I love this, and what I really love is the face on that girl. And I've always wanted to stitch Eleanor Parr, but the girls on there, I can't get over the faces. So I think I'm going to use her face and put it on the girls in that cross stitch, and that will solve that issue for me. Also, this came in the mail. I think I told you last time I was at the Container Store with my mom, and I got a call from the tinsmith's wife because I was on a list for vintage pearl barley by Lakeside. Took several months, no big deal. She had some. This is vintage peanut. This is pecan butter, my favorite. Vintage pecan butter. So got on the list there. She called me. I was like, I spy in the store. I was telling my mom, hold on, I gotta take this call. And then I asked her if she had any vintage pearl barley, and she did. So it's 40 count vintage pearl barley. I said, send that my way. So I picked that up. About the same time, Janine from Acorns and Threads, one of her people, called me because I was also on the list there for vintage pecan butter. And since it's my favorite and it's a rare bird in the wild, I had them go ahead and send that to me as well. So now I'm stocked up because, quite frankly, I can't even shut my door to my linen cabinet. What's my nightstand? But I'll call it my linen cabinet. Am I going too fast for you? I've got a lot to do. Why don't I pause again real quick? It won't make a difference for you, but it will help me. And I'm going to reset my table and we're going to talk a little bit more about Amana. We're going to talk about the retreats and we're going to talk about whips and giveaways. Be right back. All right. This is like speed dating for cross stitch. So I went to Amana and stayed at Rawson's. So if you ever watch me on Instagram on my stories, the morning pictures of breakfast that's truly, I mean, it's the most amazing breakfast. And we, you eat like you never would eat at home when you're away on a vacation like that. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, full breakfast, lunch, and dinner, dessert with every meal. I got home, I'm like, I'm ready for grape nuts for breakfast. So at Amana, I did a little shopping. And first of all, I saw tons of people I'd seen before. And I was so filled with joy to see my stitching friends. And there were a lot of new people. So I met so many new friends and appreciate that. My friend Tiffany, who was at the very first retreat I went to for Leslie LaFleur from Under the Sea Fabrics, she had a retreat in Cincinnati and I went there and met Tiffany and we still connect. So it was fun to see her and spend some time and all my other good friends. So at Amana, I'm trying to remember the schedule. It's been a hot minute. So we got in, we set up the room. Michelle had assigned seating, which worked out fabulously. So people weren't in a rush to try and get in and find a spot. And if you weren't there at the very beginning, you still had a spot. We picked up Beth from the airport, and then we picked up Theresa from the airport. We went and had dinner at Texas Roadhouse. The next day, we shopped our hearts out before the stitching started, and I went to a couple of stores. We went to Amazing Grace, she has a lot of stitching stuff, and she holds stuff when the stitchers come into town. So I always love going in and seeing what she has. We went to another place called Grapevine Antiques, and I think Smokehouse Antiques. And I don't think I've ever been in the Smokehouse Antiques, but I'm going back next time because I want to show you a couple things that I bought. First of all, I bought this. Theresa Kogut picked this up. And I was like, oh, I've been looking for one of those forever. And she had one that doesn't have a lid, but she didn't put it back and didn't buy it, so I bought it. And Theresa kept asking me, how are you going to get that home? And I had packed my bag, a full-size suitcase, and I had a duffel bag that had nothing in it, scrunched up in there. I said, well, I'll just put it in my suitcase and put my dirty underwear in it. And she's like, that's gross. I said, yeah, you're right. Of course I didn't do that. I put it in my duffel bag so it didn't get smashed. It's in great shape. It is original. There are reproductions of this too, so this is an original. I bought that. And in the Smokehouse Antique shop, I saw this in a glass cabinet, and my heart just leapt out of my chest, which it's often prone to do. And I could not ask fast enough. The lady, if you hear my cats meowing, I'm sorry. They think that they should be in here with me. I saw this and I asked the gal if I could take a look at it, and then I bought it because why wouldn't you buy it? It's a sewing, it's not a bird, it's a sewing clamp. So you put this on your table and it has a pincushion. I think this is not the original. I think this is a piece of upholstery. And this is just, it's not hand painted. It's a transferware, if you will. But I haven't seen anything like this before, and I love this. Sorry for the reflection in there. Just noticed that my lamp has a reflection. That's all right. So I bought that, and I went to the Wool and Needle, I bought some wool at the Wool and Needle, and this is for a project out of Bonnie Sullivan and Dawn Heath. They have a book. I'll throw a picture up here so you can see it. It's a French book. They went to France, they taught a class, and then they decided to make a book together. And it's a Quilt Mania book. Is that Quilt Mania produced? I can't remember. Anyway, so they had two colorways. One has this aqua-y color, and one has more of the pinks in it, I think. They both have the reds. Well, I'm choosing this, and I'm choosing to kit it up with the aqua color. And I've got extra fabric, and I don't know if I have all of it, but I've got the stuff that's harder to find. So I bought that. I also got, I don't know if I got this there or somewhere else. Where did that go? I had some wool. I don't know where it went. Anyway, I'll show you this instead. Some William Morris fabric, and this is gorgeousness. Is this not so pretty? Wouldn't this be pretty pillows for your couch? I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I just thought I need to buy that. It screamed fall to me, and it was a fall retreat, so I bought that. And this was kind of fun. It's a match striker and holder, but I thought, you know, you could put like you could put this in the wall and put little greens in here and little picks that have a little cross stitch on the end, and that would be so cute, so stinking cute on your wall. So pick that up. Oh, here's the other bit of wool that I bought. Pretty sure I got this at the Wool and Needle. They have you can buy yardage of wool, you can buy fat quarters, fat eighths. They could be hand dyed, they could be straight off the bolt. Usually I think they're felted. So I picked that up. Also found this, JP Coats, mercerized cotton. It's red, so I had to have it. And look at the inside. Look at it has the original paper and the bits of, well, there's quite a bit of the thread. Looks like the gal used the blue, but nothing else. So that was fun. My husband's going to be like, where are we going to put all this stuff? And he's not wrong. That, Michelle handed out some finishing items, Christmas oriented, which is fun. I'm always looking for bits and bobs to finish items if I ever get around to it. I picked up this bit of lace because I love lace. And also Michelle had, she had a pop-up shop where I bought some of Beth's patterns. I have a lot of her patterns. I love, this is a signed and numbered frame. So I bought this one, H is for Holly. She had this snow zone. It's an original punch needle or something to that effect. And she has a pattern from that. Her smalls, this is Advent Candles Ornament Set. And this is a new release, Advent Season Ornament Set. So Sweetness also, I think these are Kathy Barrick labels, they are. I won a door prize, a thread keep. Now, let me show you the project from the Farm Girl Retreat. So Beth got up, she is so sweet. She's like the sweetest. And she had a project for us. And you've got this bag. It's been hand stamped with like a Pacific Northwest scene on it. And here is the threads and the linen to make the project. It was wrapped in this greenery, which I'm there for. And she had a sampler where she had a box finish, and the box is made by her husband from the wood on their property. He milled it, and like, I don't know if he burned it or what he did with it, lasered it. It is so special and sweet. Then we did a finishing class where we finished the inside of the box, which was fantastic. I haven't put this is for the lid, but this is yeah, you can see it says lid in case you forget. So I feel like I need to get I need to work on this. It wouldn't take that long. I will insert a few pictures, but first let me show you the pattern. There's a band sampler, and you can choose one of 3 bands to stitch and put on top of your box. And there's 2 strawberries that you can put in there as well. So I'm not going to put the original antique sampler picture, but I am going to put some pictures of the project. I'm going to insert them right here. Aren't they gorgeous? I can't wait to stitch that. That's on my short list. So after, so we had a great time at the retreat, visited with people. I think I didn't go anywhere besides the woolen needle. I did go to the local quilt store, but I don't remember what I picked up. It'll probably show up here in the rest of my pile. It was go, go, go. It was a lot of fun. I was exhausted when I got home. I worked for 2 days, long days at work, and then I took off and went to the attic. So the attic was, I had I'm sorry, I'm full of ums today, had a retreat with Paulette from Plum Street and Alma from Blackbird Designs and Dawn, I can't remember her last name. And Dawn did a whole day class with us on stitching a housewife. And she did a great little lecture on it. It was super enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. When I got to the attic, I hung out with Wendy Pete Ross from the Heart Needle Art. I knew she was going to be there, and Diane. Several stitchers, met them, had dinner, went to the attic, and went crazy. So, no, I actually had a plan of what I wanted to buy there. Well, I didn't go crazy. Then the next day we went back to the attic and stitched all day and hung out with stitchers. We had, I think it was Friday evening is when the event started. So I sat at a table with Theresa, Strictly Stitchy. She has a Flosstube channel. She is so darn funny. And I just had a great time sitting with her. I kind of shoehorned myself into this table. I had Theresa and Diane, the woodpecker's daughter, and Amy from Miss Flossy, and Kim from Contented Needleworker Kim. We had Carol and Carolyn from the attic, and me. It feels like there was another person, but I think that might be it. I don't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that was it. Anyway, so lots of laughter, lots of fun, lots of hanging out and stitching and having a good time. Oh, also, Robin from Little Bird, Sampler Bird, Stitchery, I can't think. She was there and she had a gift for us as well. So let me just show you a few projects here. First of all, Sampler Bird Stitchery. Robin, she makes a sampler, like a tomato scissor fob, and now she has a pumpkin one. And she had this project here. I've already taken it out and looked at it, but we had counting pins. She showed us and told us how to make this box here. Also, I think it's a drum, really, with this little tiny pumpkin on top, or you can stitch this this piece right here. Now, she laughed because somebody picked this up. She stitched A, B, D, C, because who wouldn't do that? She did it a few times on her models. So we had to laugh about that because it's a very human thing to do, right? So she gifted us that. And Jean from the attic gifted us some Bowen needles. This is a Christmas set. I wanted one of these. I almost bought it a few times, and I'm glad I didn't because we got those. And this thread keep where samplers rule. And I believe this is made by the gal at Haystack Needle Works down in California. Made those. I had picked up, there was a lot of discussion about GGR. Actually, let me hit this first. Nancy Allen came by and visited my table, and she shared this stitch piece. This is her original design, and she gave some treats to go with it. So Nancy can be reached on beautifulheirlooms.blogspot.com, or she has an Etsy shop, Bountiful. It's bountifulheirlooms.blogspot.com. She's also Bountiful Journals on Etsy. And her Instagram is Liahona, Liahona girl. If you want to follow her. Thank you very much, Nancy. So my goal going to the attic, I'm sorry, I'm a bit all over the place right now, was to kit up some GGRs. So it was GGR, it was her 90th birthday. And we sang happy birthday to her and showed off some of our whips or finished GGR pieces. And Grace from Paisley Stitcher brought several finished GGRs. It's her favorite designer, and it shows because her stitching is gorgeous and her stitch pieces are fantastic. Well, here's a pro tip for the attic. The attic has double skeins of General Arts threads, and GGR patterns, a lot of them call for General Arts. So I kitted up 4 pieces while I was there. One is the polka dot cow sampler. I already had this one, and I bought there's a lot of thread in this, but it's so much cheaper to do it this way. If you need 2 skeins, you automatically get 2 skeins with 1 skein from there. Virginie Grimoire, 1845. Woo, gorgeous. And the lady in the red spinning her wool. And there's another one. Oh, shoot. I will see if I can find the pattern this goes to and stop a picture, because I didn't have the pattern with me, so I'll put it right here. And I did pick up the threads for this one. Now look, there's purple in there. Is this old purple paint? No, it's blueberry. It doesn't look very blue. And also like a rich pink, kind of a bright pink. Yeah. So I bought those. That was my #1 thing I wanted to do while I was there. And the first day we were shopping, there was a Mary Cox table with consignment items, but also I bought this shaker. After I saw Wendy pick one up, there was only 2 that were this size, and this one is it's really got some heft to it. I bought some extra threads that don't go with anything. That will confuse me. I'll be like, what is this for? Anyway, so we decided we're gonna make these into sewing kits. So I have some ideas rolling around in my head of how to finish this. I hate to attach anything. They're so beautifully made. I hate to glue anything to it. But I might make something and put it on the lid, on the inside of the lid. We shall see. Also from the attic, boop, boop, boop. They had, when you go into the attic on the right as you go in, there's designs from local designers. So reproductions from Needlework Press, Tangy from the Scarlet House, Linda Vincent, Linda, who's the other Linda? The samplers remembered. There's several of them that are right there. And this one jumped off the page to me, Sophia Gregory by the Scarlet House. Gorgeous. And Hannah Smith. This, to me, this was gorgeous. This was in the most recent sampler, the most recent newsletter, I think. It's much softer than you see on this picture. I saw this one. This one also is softer and super vibrant. They had a different color, so you know the fabric is hard to capture on the picture. The fabric was richer than what you see on the picture here. This one's gorgeous. That is Mary Allison by Priscilla's Pocket. Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I bought my copy of that. There are a lot of great designs in there. Samplers and primitives. Okay, I want to tell you that when I saw this had come out, I I knew I wanted to buy this. They had it made into like a retreat mat. And I think Carol made it from the attic. Carol, which Carol? E, I think. And then the Samplers and Primitives has several other beautiful designs. And I'm not as familiar with her, but check her designs out. They're gorgeous. Book of Days is out. Vicki Jeanette told us all about this. There is a picture that she bought. I'm sorry, a painting. And I think it's a reproduction. I'm not sure. And then she had a tapestry that is the same one. So she has the same painting and tapestry as what is on the Book of Days, which is pretty cool. It was fortuitous. It was meant to be. Now, before I show you the retreat project, a couple more that I bought. I couldn't stand. This is so darn cute. Pansy Patch. And I might just sew that jumping bunny. Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. I couldn't remember the whole name. So cute. Some haul from Stitching Frog. Some GGR prints. Miss Manners. Charts Miss Manners. The Dutch Sampler. I love this. Hannah Hammond's work. I think Brenda or Laura showed this one. That one's gorgeous. We're getting there. Now, this is Collector with a Needle. This is Dawn. I am looking for her last name. I can't remember. She has two books. They're like coffee table books. One is Antique Needlework Tools, and one is Housewives. So this is the project that she had for us. Is that not so pretty? And this is Collector with a Needle. That's her chart. That's her business name. And she had the 100 threes with that. And the fabric to stitch the housewife. And she showed us some of the stitches and how to assemble it. So hopefully I can remember. Because I didn't start it. It might be a hot minute. Also, so the first night we had, was it Friday night, was Paulette from Plum Street. She showed her project and it is so darn beautiful. Let me tell you what, it took every bit of restraint I had to not start this. Real comfort. So this is a Jane Austen quilt. It says there's nothing like staying home for real comfort. So this is a retreat piece. It'll be available probably this time next year. There was also some smalls I think that you could stitch off of that. And Wendy, I know she was going to take that approach. Then we had Dawn, and Dawn had on Saturday talked about orphans and stitching, just what they were required to do as part of their education at orphanages and going into service and the constraints with even getting into some of these excellent orphanages, but also how they were treated. It was very sad in a lot of ways. Just even getting into it was difficult, but then when you were there, you had to come back and tell people thank them very much for the opportunity to stay at the orphanage. And anyway, I'm not going to go into all of it, but it was an interesting lecture. Then on Sunday, I had to leave early. So I first had this morning flight. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. And then that was when Alma was going to present. So I moved my flight to almost noon. I caught quite a bit of her presentation, but I had to leave a little bit early. So Alma, always the best speaker, very genuine, very down to earth, very human and vulnerable, and I just love her. So she gave us this one. It's called Gifts of the Season, and it's a knockout. It's so pretty. There's a small in here too. That's one of the motifs. I think it's this one. She finished it as a small. I think this one also. So that one leapt to the top of my pile. Wow, I am going turbo speed today. I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to pull out my whips and show you, and we're going to talk about winners from the last giveaway. So stay tuned. Oh, please. I have the saddest cats ever. They have the most pitiful meows. They're like, I want to come in. I want you to sit down, put your feet up, put the blanket on, start stitching so they can come and lay on my lap. Because that's what they love to do. And they think it's that time of day because I'm in here. It's not. Anyway, so there are a couple things here. I didn't iron stuff because ain't nobody got time for that right now. I had to finish when I was in Wisconsin. And this is the Artsy Housewife. I love her stuff. And this is very, I don't know, excuse me, fractor-ish is the way I describe it. I love her designs. They're very original and artistic. Thus the Artsy Housewife. I stitched this on 40 count vintage Tundra by Lakeside with most of the Roxy Floss Company conversion through Evertotes. It was a joy to stitch this. I loved how the picture unfolded. I did put a couple of the original colors back in. The dark color, I think it was wrought iron, which is more of a blue-black, but I used Caterpillar from Classic Colorworks. And then the green was Polywog. It's in one of the middle here. And I put that one back in. I had that one. Oh no, I used Piney Woods instead. And then this moon was kind of the pink color here, and I used the orange instead. So those are all the changes that I made. Super fun to stitch. Can't wait to stitch more of her stuff. So that was a finish. I'll put it in the to be fully finished pile at some point. The other one that I was working on is Redware out of the, I'll make it to the front of the book here. This is from, hang on, because finding stuff is hard. Here we go. Cross Stitch Country Crafting February 2006. This is the book, and this is the pattern. It's called Redware. This will be a finish this year. I'm focusing on this. Last time I had Dware, and now I have the beginning of red. This W, the light is a different color of green. I might just leave it. I haven't decided. But I know I have most of those two letters done. There's another Redware plate, that size over here, and another a smaller one this size over here, the little filigree work, and that's about it. I might put a little bit of a stitch under here. So this is a focus for the rest of this year. This one I'm going to work on and focus on finishing. I was going to try to get the top part of Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain done this year. I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but it'll just roll over to next year, and it's one of my focus pieces for next year. Because I had a finish, I had a start, and that is Sister Sampler, and I've wanted to stitch this for quite a while now. Abby Rose Designs. I'm using pretty much the call for colors, and I am stitching this on Ballet Slipper by Fox and Rabbit, which is a very much a blush color. It's not really pink, it's not really tan or fleshy color, it's sort of in between. It looks like a ballet slipper. And the colors just sing on this fabric. It's such a beautiful fabric. And it's kind of blowing out a little bit there. Let me see if it'll help by putting it behind this. I think that might be better. We'll see. Great fabric for this particular design. So if you're looking for a fabric and you're stitching this and you're not sure, I recommend Ballet Slipper. So much fun. If I get that one done this year, that'll be great. If not, that's okay too. I might just focus on the other two pieces. I'm sorry, on the Redware piece, and I will focus on Sister's sampler. I may or may not get back to Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. I also am I'm having the itch to start some things, and I might just start some smalls. I showed you in the last video some strawberries that I might stitch. I have a whole, like, these are all kits from like Dying to Stitch, other club kits that are just waiting to be stitched. Now let's talk about giveaways. So the first one, and so first of all, I'm going to put my email in the drop down below. Please don't talk about giveaways. Don't write it in your comment, gift or giveaway, anything like that. But reach out to me via email. So this one, the keyword search was gate, and the winner was Deborah Watkins 1493. The second one was Winter Garden by Hello by Liz Matthews. Julie Fowkes, Fowkes 9796. You won that one. Mary Needleworker. This was Lorraine Bergstrom 9391. You won that one. Sampler box. This was a popular one. Glee Hansen 4775. You won that one. And Elsie Curtis Home Sweet Home. Cindy, I think it's Gunning 17108. I'll put your name on here across the screen. You won that one. So it is almost Thanksgiving. I cannot believe it. I will be in town going to my sister's. I don't have to host Thanksgiving this year, which is fantastic. And I'm not sure. I might do a little after Christmas shopping. I also probably will do Amazon shopping, quite frankly. I have a baby shower tomorrow. I have to go into town tonight to buy something for that. And I'll be back in a couple weeks to show you the goods. Have a great Thanksgiving if I don't see you or talk to you before then. Take care. Oh yes, we're shopping today. We shopped yesterday. More shopping. Country Sampler, Spring Green. It is the end of their fall season. Pretty soon it will be Christmas. And oh, so many beautiful things. I really do like this blue quilt. But I saw this in their newsletter. This quilt kit, and I bought that because I just love this sort of like, kind of a rusty color.
It's great because I have so much to pull from when I want to design. It just kind of reminded me of
colors just seem like they're but I looked at them like,
That's a lot of trees. Oh my gosh.
Kathy
Barrick in them.
Isn't that a quirky tree?
yeah. Oh, I like
We were discussing like,
let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
how I wish my
I
brain
counted,
would
there's
be,
like 40 of them.
you know,
I'm still working on those stupid trees with
I'm
the
still a
ends
stick
I
tree
stitched
kind of
14
girl.
trees already.
Pretty plain Janie.
So I just yeah, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
the computer generated image.
15 actually.
So that's the full.
16.
Okay,
This
awesome.
is on page 1 too.
All right.
Like get over yourself in the trees.
Well, when you get to
snowing?
he gets to do more of his body.
I'd rather but I cannot get past this. This is the biggest block of trees. I already mapped it out. I'm like, if I can get through this is the most
It should go fast.
Yeah, the others they're bigger trees and they're not quite as bad. And it's more
For
more
faded
God's
We're
sake.
almost happy bear stuff. Like this one I love too.
It would take a while for
And
you
I love
to
that.
Oh, so you didn't let it outside?
Oh my gosh, just all the beautiful things.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But she always keeps her own stuff.
Oh, yeah, Jerry, I found it, and she wanted to go outside. I asked her never let her outside.
Look at them tall.
Oh, God.
This is a SheShack.
Come on, pop up.
And a candle.
It's called
This guy.
That's pretty.
We just went.
What did you use?
For yeah, and it's actually different.
And you need at least 5 skeins.
Yeah, that's that right there.
Probably. I would take 5. You can do 6 if you use.
Yeah.
You might take. Oh, I might have to swap that.
There's just stuff everywhere. Everywhere you turn, there's good stuff to see.
And she had her Dasher dancer, and she started doing it in cherry toddlers. Oh, that's the bear one. Ran out.
That is so stinking cute.
In fact, while the kids are trick-or-treating, she'll probably be at home putting up her Christmas tree.
Love it. All right, me too.
I always wait until the Friday after Thanksgiving. Because I know my kids need to
Exactly. That's fine.
I love the laughter in Country Sampler.
We spend a lot of our money, so we have to like do it.
I need just a little bit. I don't see any of these fabrics.
I have bolts of this. I have 2 bolts of this. What's that supposed to do? This right here. Oh, it is the one for the.
But it's in 2 colorways.
I love this so much. I've used it. I thought it was just good. So again, do you want?
And I have something probably real close. Is it gonna be good in your truck?
I think it'll be fine. There's got a lot of them in there.
Yeah, it's
That one?
I can't.
Love it. I want to do like a dark, like a green, all green.
Totally planned.
Oh, cool. So cool. That's awesome. It's nice when.
But I was like, and then she was
nice to make it a lot.
Alternate the thing, so that one, that was the top one she liked, that was that kind of.
Some linen, please.
And then she liked the next one.
Barb, Floss and Floss. How are
geez.
you?
I would have done my hair. Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome. No worries. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Yeah, up there. Mm-hmm.
I do too. I just got a ton and I have charm squares, and then I have a 10 by 10 for jelly. I have 2
Oh, so many gorgeous things.
strip, 5.5-inch blocks, 10.5-inch block, a tumbler, and then I have.
Look at that quilt. And all of this wool. I wish I could sit down here and take a class. So much good stuff at this store. Isn't that quilt beautiful?
that with all your, it takes longer to prep your pattern.
So you Teresa.
I'll just get a lot of little baggies, put them in there.
Oh, yeah.
Teresa.
Hey.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the mood to sit there and get them all prepped and ready to go, it's easier to do that and put them in little bags, and then when you sit down. And the idea is to do one of those a day at the end of the year, you have it that size.
Oh, nice.
Some people have got tired of doing it.
Oh, pretty.
So that's,
Oh.
I didn't take a second.
This one? Yeah.
But mark your inside line, so do that. And when you get them together, you're just gonna stitch these little lines right here. That's all you're stitching.
Okay. Just because.
So that's why the little longer needle, you can just load up, thread done.
Okay.
I do,
Also,
I do a little
hand
back.
stitch.
Oh, yeah, honey.
Oh,
If you try to do, it's gonna take you longer to do it on the machine.
Fun.
It really will. You really have to prep your blocks. And then by the time you take your chain and clear it,
Yeah.
it's easier to just,
Okay.
cause you just do a little running stitch.
That's
I
pretty.
back
How you
stitch.
doing?
I don't
I like
find
when
knots, I
you
just
do
back
stuff.
stitch.
Look at this. Oh my gosh. How cute is that?
Yeah, and then when you get it put together, then you do the diamonds down the middle, on, and then pressing, so that if you press them all the same way every time, you're not gonna have here.
Oh. Yeah.
But it's just like making that flat and just, as long as you press the same direction every time you cross, then you're not gonna. As long as you're marking
That.
that,
Isn't that amazing?
you're not gonna have to go back.
So you sew these all together first and then those?
Yep, I usually do like a here,
That's gorgeous too.
Oh, yeah.
and then go back and it just looks really.
My goodness. I did that myself. Oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing ever.
I just need to sit this up here. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, that's cute. Oh, sorry. Okay, one out of the way. Let me just. Okay. I know, I'm short. Oh, I love your Very nice. I gotta get out of this corner so I can see the other side. Great. She was a school teacher, and she made a quilt top that I showed my Flosstube.
There's the exchange.
I didn't catch that. Oh, look at these! How sweet! Oh, this is so pretty. Yes, from yeah, it's from which I think.
Yes. Oh, that was you. I know. I saw him. But this
was in here. Oh, look, and there's a little tree too.
I love that.
Oh my gosh. That's like the journal. I'm gonna keep that. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna set it on top of yeah, that's really pretty. Yeah, that is beautiful. They are normal things. Oh, thank you. They take here. Yeah, the scissors and put them in the holder there. The tree is a staples. Oh my gosh, where the
What is the name of that one? Do you know? I have no idea. I wonder what the stitch count is on that one.
Yeah.
Various forms. Surprise anything else? You have to add those. Like light, dark, medium. The range. Yeah.
I think you should do this.
Get my mind. I think it's
No.
That's so cool.